You've probably eaten hundreds of bags of Doritos in your lifetime, maybe thousands. But have you ever stopped mid-crunch and thought, wait, how does a simple corn kernel turn into this perfectly triangular, insanely seasoned chip that I literally cannot stop eating? What if I told you that the Dorito sitting in your hand right now traveled through a journey so precise, so engineered, and so wildly fascinating that it makes the chip taste even better once you know about it? Today, we're going inside the factory. From the cornfield to the bag. Every single step. Before we get to the factory floor, let's talk about where Doritos actually came from. Because the origin story is just as crunchy as the chip itself. It was the early 1960s. A Frito-Lay marketing executive named Arch West was on a family road trip through San Diego, California. He stopped at a small roadside stand and tried something he had never tasted before. Fried tortilla chips seasoned with chili and cheese. He was hooked. Arch convinced Frito-Lay to take a chance on the idea. In 1966, Doritos officially launched nationwide, becoming the first tortilla chip to be sold across the entire United States. The name itself comes from the Spanish word dorado, meaning small pieces of gold. Fitting, right? By 1988, Doritos had become the #1 selling chip in the world. Today they generate over $4 billion in annual revenue. And the original nacho cheese flavor is still the best seller. Some things never change. Every single Dorito starts its life as a humble corn kernel. Not the sweet corn you eat at a summer barbecue. Doritos use field corn, a starchier, denser variety specifically grown for processing. These massive cornfields stretch across the Midwest United States, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and harvest season runs from late August through October. When it's time, enormous harvesting machines that stand 2 stories tall roll through the fields. These machines are equipped with precision-cutting blades that slice ears of corn from the stalks at the perfect height, minimizing any damage to the kernels. A single harvester can process up to 140 tons of corn per day. Think about that. 140 tons. Every single day. Once harvested, the corn is loaded onto trucks and driven directly to Frito-Lay processing facilities. The factory operates 4 massive storage silos, each holding up to 200,000 pounds of corn. Because to make 600,000 bags of Doritos every single day, you need a whole lot of raw material on hand. Before the corn enters production, it goes through a rigorous cleaning process. Vibrating screens shake out any dirt, stones, or debris. Water jets rinse away remaining impurities. The moisture content is carefully monitored and kept below 14% to prevent any mold or spoilage during storage. Only then is the corn cleared to move forward. Here's where things get really interesting. Unlike potato chips, which are simply sliced and fried, Doritos require a completely different process. The corn kernels must first be transformed into a smooth, elastic dough called masa. And creating the perfect masa is both a science and an art. First, the cleaned corn kernels are loaded into large cooking pots, each holding around 660 pounds of corn. The corn is cooked in water at around 190 degrees Fahrenheit for about 4 minutes. This softens the outer structure of the kernel and begins breaking it down. But cooking alone isn't enough. After the initial cook, the corn is transferred into 18 large soaking tanks, where it sits and absorbs moisture for several hours. This extended soaking does something critical. It loosens and separates the outer husk of the kernel from the starchy interior. Once soaking is complete, the water drains, and those loosened husks float right to the surface. A pumping system beneath the tanks pushes the hydrated kernels through pipelines toward a high-pressure washing station, where water jets blast away every last bit of husk. What remains is pure, clean, perfectly hydrated corn, with a moisture content of exactly 45%. Now it's ready to become dough. The hydrated kernels are fed between two aluminum oxide grinding stones, spinning at 720 rotations per minute. As the kernels pass through, they're pulverized into masa, a smooth, warm, elastic corn dough. The factory uses a specific blend of 80% yellow corn and 20% white corn. That white corn is key. It has higher elasticity, giving the dough better binding strength and a smoother texture. Three things are constantly monitored during this stage: moisture content, temperature, and grind texture. Get any one of these wrong, and the entire batch is compromised. Fresh mesa is extruded through a narrow nozzle that flattens it into a thin, continuous sheet. A third roller equipped with triangular cutting dies stamps through the dough sheet like a giant cookie cutter, punching out Doritos' iconic triangular shape over and over again at incredible speed. The edges are razor sharp, producing clean, perfect cuts every single time. This one machine alone cuts over 30 million individual chips every 24 hours. The freshly cut triangles head into one of the most impressive machines in the entire factory, a 3-tier industrial oven running at temperatures up to 640 degrees Fahrenheit. But here's the twist. The chips only spend a few seconds inside. The goal isn't to fully cook them here. The goal is to rapidly seal the outer surface of the dough, trapping tiny pockets of moisture inside. Those trapped moisture pockets are what create the signature air bubbles you see on every Dorito chip. Those bubbles aren't a defect, they're engineered. Before a single chip goes into a bag, Frito-Lay pulls random samples off the line. Quality control technicians measure three things: moisture content, fat content, and seasoning coverage. Once cleared, the chips are funneled into hoppers that direct them toward rows of high-speed packaging machines. This facility packages up to 600,000 bags of Doritos every single day. That's over 200 million bags per year, shipped to stores across the country, so that your bag is always waiting for you on that shelf. So next time you tear open a bag of Doritos, take a second to appreciate what went into that chip. The carefully harvested corn, the precision ground masa, the engineered air bubbles, the 55-second fry, the secret seasoning tumbling in a drum, the nitrogen-sealed bag protecting every single chip on its journey to you. It's not just a snack. It's one of the most precisely engineered food products ever made. Now here's a question for you. How many corn kernels do you think it takes to make one single bag of Doritos? Drop your guess in the comments. Let's see who gets closest. If you enjoyed going behind the scenes, hit that like button and subscribe. Because next week, we're going inside another factory you never knew you needed to see. See you then.